Field tonight, the Trojans take on these Lion Mountain Eagles in a big ball game for both of these clubs. The Trojans coming off a victory last time out when they defeated the Millersburg Indians just last week, and they're going to have their hands full tonight with these Eagles, I'm afraid, as the Eagles come in here with a record of 4-1, and the Trojans with a record of 2-3. So we'll see how we make out now as the toss of the coin has been made. The Eagles have won the toss and elected to receive the opening kickoff, and so the Trojans will have the honor of kicking off to the Eagles to begin tonight's ball game. It's a lovely evening for football. It's Shell, Drew Hunter, and Bo Hassinger were the co-captains tonight for UDA. We'll pick up the fellows as we go along. We do have some names for Lion Mountain, and should be a nice ball game. It is a nice evening for football. Not too cold at all, especially for the football players. And the field is relatively dry. There is some rain scheduled to come in here tomorrow, late tonight or tomorrow. But I think we'll get the game in without any showers, and that'll be nice. And so the field in pretty good condition. Temperature at game time is somewhere around 60 degrees, or a little less than that maybe now. But there's virtually no wind to speak of, so passing games should not suffer at all due to wind at any rate, as we look for the Trojans to get some good defense played against these Eagles tonight. And if we get some good offensive line blocking, we'll get a chance to see Jimmy Savage back in the lineup tonight again. And Jim will be able to make some yardage if we get some blocking, and some of these other backs that also need blocking to function. So let's see what happens. Jason Henninger has it teed up here now as we get set to kick off. And here comes that opening kick. It's going to be a low bounding kick, and it's going to be fallen upon down here at the 38-yard line of Lion Mountain, where the Eagles will put it in play, 1st and 10. 1st and 10 Eagles on their own 38. Quarterback is Adam Straub for Lion Mountain as we begin the ball game. And he'll hand this one off to number 28. That's that Brian Henninger, and he scampers ahead for nearly a first down. It'll be awfully close. In fact, it is going to be a first down. So on the very first play, that Brian Henninger gets about 11 and gives them a first down on the Lion Mountain 49, playing right out in front of us now. 1st and 10. Straub got him set up here now. And he'll hand this one off, and up the middle with it goes number 28, Henninger. This time he gains about 4 to the Trojan 47-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6. 2nd down and 6 now from the UD 47-yard line. Henninger and Sullivan line up behind quarterback Straub. Haynes again to Henninger, and Henninger up the middle with it, driving all the way down here to the Trojan 33-yard line. Stopped finally in there by Lucas of the Trojans. Oh, and Kevin Motter also, they say. So it's 1st and 10 again as the Eagles with a good drive going here now. They have it to the 30, but just about the 33 and a half, 34-yard line, we'll call it. Straub this time hands it to Henninger, and Henninger bottled up quickly in there as Batts in there, along with Nick Huffman and Joel Miller also in on that stop. 2nd and 8. Ball resting squarely on the UD 30-yard line. Henninger and Sullivan again in the backfield, and this time it's going to be the quarterback Straub keeping it. Over the left side he goes, and he's tackled at the 25. Coming up there to make the stop for UD is Kyle Grafe, number 59 for UD, making that stop. Gain of nearly 5 on the play, or just a little better than 5 on the play. 3rd down and 2. Eagles with that powerful backfield. Guys can move the ball. Getting some good blocking out front there, too. Straub hands this one to Henninger again, and this time he is stopped after probably getting very close to the first down. It's going to be 4th down and less than a yard. The ball will be placed at the UD 24-yard line, where it is 4th down and a short yard. Kenny the Bam Bam Bats out there calling the defensive signals for UD. Straub again now with Henninger and Sullivan in the backfield. Henninger gets the call, got the first down and more, drives down to around the 15-yard line. Getting close in there. Again, Bats in on the stop, along with Motter and a whole host of Trojans. Ball will be placed right on the UDA 15-yard line. 1st and 10 Eagles. Eagles started this drive on their own 38-yard line. And now I've driven it down here to the UD 15. Quarterback keeps it this time, and Straub on the keeper this time, got back to the line of scrimmage, and that was about all. Looked like it might have been a busted play. It's sort of hard to tell. He kind of looked like he was surprised to have it, but no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10. Down and 10. Looking at the Eagles now from the Trojan 15-yard line. Straub keeps it this time, and he's down to the 5, down to the 4, in for a touchdown. 15-yard touchdown run by quarterback Adam Straub, who decided to keep that one and could cut his way upfield. Got some good blockings, had a nice opening, and was able to take it in from about, 10 yards out or 15 yards out, whatever he was. At any rate, it's now 6-0, and Eagles will see if they can add to that. Yeah, they'll go for 2. And it's going to be number 11 taking it up for 2. That's that Sprinkle. Nicky Sprinkle making the extra point for Line Mountain. And with 7 minutes, 10 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, Line Mountain on top, 8-0. Trojans will go on offense for the first time in the ball game here. Just a minute coming up. Matt Smeltz of Line Mountain getting it teed up out here to kick off to the Trojans. Kevin Motter and Steve Minnick back to receive the kick. I mentioned at the beginning of this tape that the Trojans would have Jimmy Savage, and that's a very often on thing now, and I don't see Jim out here as the ball is taken here by Bo Hassinger, and Bo will get nailed out here at about the 37-yard line. The Trojans with some good field position, however, to start this series now, as it'll be 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. They spot it. 1st and 10 UD. Jim Savage is not suited up, so I take all that back, but he's going to need some blocking out here now for that Stephen Minnick, as Stephen lines up at the running back behind Nick Huffman. Nick gets the call, and Nick will drive it ahead for about a yard or so. Not too much on that one. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 9. 2nd and 9. Brian Faust, the quarterback out there for UDA. He's looking him over on a 2nd and 9. In motion goes Laudenschlager. Pitches back over there for Stephen Minnick. Steve will try to cut it up the right side, but let's see. Not going to make it that time, as he is caught back there by that number 55, Josh Daniels, making a stop in there for Line Mountain. And it'll be 3rd and 14 now. Loss of just about 4 on that play, so it'll be 3rd down 14. 3rd and 14, looking at the Trojans. They're on their own 33-yard line now. Line Mountain shows that they're coming, but now they'll drop back a little bit. Handed off on the draw here for Stephen Minnick. Stephen with some good yardage all the way down to the 40-yard line where Stephen is really belted. Gain of about 7 on the play, but it'll be well short of the first down. It'll be a 4th down and about 6. So into the ball game comes our punter, Jason Henninger. And he will be stepping up to punt this one away from about the 30-yard line of Upper Dauphin. Low snap, but he got it pretty well. Nice high punt. This one's going to come down here at the 28-yard line to the 30, 35, and then he's going to be banged down here at about the 37-yard line by Miller. And
Nicky Sprinkle on the return. Joel Miller,
Kyle Grafe, that's it. Kyle Grafe and Joel Miller making the stop for UD. It's at the 38-yard line of the Eagles. Eagles last time marched downfield without too much of a problem against UD, so see if the Trojans can tighten up the defense now a little bit. Cobb hands this one off. Up the middle with it comes Henninger, and Henninger dives ahead for about 7 or 8, maybe 9. Close to the first down marker. Picked up 9 on that. Will be 2nd down 1. Jared Lucas, number 2 out there, making a stop for UD. Henninger and Sullivan in behind Straub in the backfield. Straub has it, rolls left with it, has the option perhaps, I'm not sure, still on his feet, and has the first down and then a couple of more yards. Picking up about 3 on the play. Looks like Kevin Motter over there to make the stop along with the Bammer Bats. And Laudenschlager also in on that stop, I believe. First down for the Eagles. 1st and 10 down the ball at the Trojan 49-yard line. 4 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Eagles up 8-0. Eagles content to keep it on the ground so far here. And why not? So far they've had it their way. Pass. Now he fires one downfield. Man is out here. It is complete. Out here to Jared Harold making the stop at the UD 18-yard line. A nice pass from Straub to Harold. So just as I mentioned, they were keeping it on the ground. He gets about a 30-yard strike out of that, or 25-yard anyway. And it is 1st and 10, Line Mountain on the Trojan 18. Harold hands this one off. Sullivan with it down to the 7-yard line. Knocked down on there by that number 22, I think it was, making the stop primarily on him that time. That's that Laudenschlager. And it'll be 1st and goal for Line Mountain now at the Trojan 3. 6, make it. From the 6-yard line, Straub hands this one. No, he's got it yet. And a good tackle that time made in there by the Trojans as coming in to make the stop on him. 57, Joel Miller. Nice stop by Joel Miller that time. Drove him back to the 10-yard line, lost a couple. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 10. Okay, on a 2nd and goal from the 10 now. Pitches back over this way for Sullivan, but again, he is going to be stopped this time as Nick Huffman grabbed him by the leg and dragged him down. Gain of only a yard on that play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and goal from the 9. So a nice couple of defensive plays here by these Trojans, and we'll see if we can keep it up now. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 9. 3rd and goal from the 9-yard line. Straub looks like he wants to throw. Fires one into the end zone. Overthrown is Harold over there. He was in the end zone, but it was overthrown. So the Trojans have held here for 3, and we got one more to try it. As the Eagles will be looking at a 4th and goal from the UDA 9-yard line. Minute 26 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Clock stopped with the incompletion. So Chris Smith checking into the ball game for UDA. He'll replace Miller for the Trojans. So this will be a big one here now. Eagles go with a single set in the backfield, and it's Henninger in the backfield right behind quarterback Straub. He wants to throw over the middle. It is tipped up in the air nicely in there by Motter. Kevin Motter making a good defensive play for the Trojans. So the Trojans have held, and that should give this defense a little bit of a boost now, as the Eagles had a 1st and goal down inside the 10, and Trojans have held them now, and they get the ball back on their own 9-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 UDA with 91 yards to go here. Minute 21 remaining here in the first quarter. Faust checking him up. Back to pass he goes, looking. Oh, and he is hit, and is there a flag? No, incomplete. It goes as an incompletion. But, wow, he was hammered, and Brian feels that one as he was hit around the back, low in the back of the back. And that can shake up a young fellow, that's for sure. But we'll see what happens now on a 2nd down and 10. Dave Shell, number 10, is the tight end on the near side of the field. Sometimes Faust likes to go to him as the Trojans line up in that high backfield again with Minnick behind Huffman. Back to pass he goes. Faust is going to be stopped this time at about the 2-yard line. As coming in there to make the stop on him, number 51. Now that's that Matt Smeltz making the stop in there for the Eagles. It's now 3rd down and timeout called by Upper Dauphin. Trojans call timeout with just 54 seconds remaining in quarter one here. And the Trojans stop the clock. We'll be right back. Okay, the Trojan timeout is over now. They're looking at a 3rd down. Play from their own 3. Back to pass goes Faust again, looking. Fires one over the other side. It is intercepted at the 5-yard line, I think it is. Yep, intercepted at the 5. Boy, a lot of pressure being put on Brian Faust that time, and Brian kind of dumped it off over there on a screen or whatever, and it was picked off by Lion Mountain. So it'll be 1st and goal once again here now for the Eagles as the Trojans turn it over on their own 5. Number 11, Nicky Sprinkle, is in the backfield this time also as they send man in motion. Sprinkle gets the call. Over the left or right side he goes, and he's going to go in for 6. Nicky Sprinkle from 5 yards out makes it a 14-0 ball game, and an extra point try coming up here for, oh, there's a flag. Wait a minute. Hold the phone. There is a flag on the play. Holding called against the Eagles, so that'll nullify Sprinkle's 5-yard touchdown run. Set the ball back to the 15-yard line where it'll make it 1st down and 15. So the Trojans dodged the bullet there, at least momentarily. And the Eagles will have to try that again. They line up with the same backfield. Sprinkle in there along with Sullivan and 58. Sprinkle again down to the 9-yard line. Stopped in there by a couple of Trojans, including Hunter.
Brought down by number 71, Drew Hunter for the Trojans.
So it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 9, or 3rd and goal rather from the 9. 2nd and goal. The announcer's confusing me, which is not easy to, or not hard to do. The quarterback's going to keep it this time, and he wishes he wouldn't have, as again, Drew Hunter coming in there and making the stop for the Trojans, throwing him back to the 14-yard line, where it'll bring up 3rd down and goal from the 14, and that's going to end the first period here at UD. With the score, it is the visitors 8, that's Line Mountain, the Trojans nothing. So we'll be back with the second quarter here in just a moment. We're getting ready for the second period now. The Eagles traveling north here at the ballpark, and timeout called by Upper Dauphin. The Trojans called timeout. Maybe they're short a man out there. I'm not sure. Yep, they are. They're short somebody. And they had to spend their second timeout. So back after the timeout. Okay, the timeout is over now. I believe we're set to go.
What a way to use a timeout.
We got 3rd down. Yeah, 3rd down and 13. And hold everything. Now we've got some motion maybe on Line Mountain. We'll see. And here's the call. It is going to be illegal procedure. Yep, against the Line Mountain Eagles. So Line Mountain kind of shooting themselves in the foot here a little bit, as they've been close twice now. And now the ball's moved back to the 19-yard line of the Trojans. So Trojans catching some breaks here now, as the Eagles now looking at a 3rd and goal from the 19-yard line. Wow. So let's see. Trojans can hold them here now. This is Adam Straub, the quarterback. One man set in the backfield. Straub looks like he wants to throw. Rolls left. Fires one over this way. It is complete or incomplete? What is it? No, incomplete. I didn't think so. They rule as an incompletion. A pass heading over there for Sprinkle, but it was incomplete, kind of bounced up to Mickey. And so the Trojans need one more hold here, and they'll get the ball back. Ball's at the 19-yard line. 4th down and goal to go for the Eagles, so they got to go for all the marbles on this play. It's TD or turn it over, one or the other. Number 8 in there is that Matt Marquette for the Eagles. Single man set in the backfield this time is Sullivan. And another passing throw, looking down the left side. Fires one down there. It is tipped by Nick Huffman, and incomplete it goes. Nick got a hand on that one. And so the Trojans have held 2 times in a row now, with the Eagles looking at a 1st and goal situation. The Trojans have held them twice. So we've got the ball now at our own 19. So we've improved our field position a little bit. Last time we took over, it was on the 3 or 5 yard line, something like that. This time we start out from our own 19, so that's a little better anyway. Bo Hassinger, Laudenschläger flank out on the near side of the field for UDA. Faust, the QB. He'll hand this one off. Coming over this way, Stephen Minnick. Stephen with some running room this time, and Stephen will be run out of bounds, or no, not out of bounds. Knocked down out here at the 26-yard line. One of the best runs of the night for UD. Picked up 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for UD. Bueller in there, in front of that UD line. Drew Hunter, the center for UD. Here comes Nick Huffman, and Nick is tripped up on a nifty tackle that time by that number 51 again, I believe it was. And that's that Smeltz, Matt Smeltz, making a good stop in there. And it will be...
No, that was 6.
It'll be 3rd down and 6. This time they flank out that Dave Shell. So let's see if they're going to throw to Dave this time. Instead of the split end, he uses a flanker on this play. Back to pass goes Faust, looking for Shell, and throws it behind him. So Dave was indeed the intended receiver, but they threw the ball behind him. So that means the Trojans will turn it over, as they'll punt the ball out of there from their own 23-yard line. Henninger again asked to punt this one away. And we'll see what kind of a good snap he can get here and see if we can get a good punt off. Good snap. Not much of a rush, and the punt comes back this way. It's going to land about, well, taken right at midfield and knocked down immediately as Grafe comes up there to make the stop. That was Sprinkle and Kyle Grafe here making the big hit for UD. Kyle knocking him down at the 49-yard line of Upper Dauphin. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles. So Line Mountain now going to work again with that single set in the backfield. Now they've gone from the double set to a single set. Straub will bump this one ahead as he hands it off to Henninger. Henninger can get himself in a crowd and still pick up about 6. So it'll be 2nd down and 4. Nice run that time by that Brian Henninger. Again, it's going to be the quarterback this time. He's keeping it. He's scrambling over this way, and he is going to be ridden down as Motter tracked him down along with Dave Shell. Kevin Motter riding him down at the 31-yard line of Upper Dauphin. 1st and 10, Line Mountain. Straub checking him out on a 1st and 10 from the UD 31. He hands this one off, and up the middle with it goes Henninger. He'll dive down to the 25-yard line of Upper Dauphin. Stopped in there by Robbie Bueller, I believe, getting off the pile last, the way it looked. 2nd and 4 for Line Mountain. Ball lying right here just inside the 25-yard line of UD. Henninger, the workhorse on this ball club, remains as the single set. This time the Henninger again with it, and he'll take it down to the 15-yard line. Yet another 1st down, so the Eagles having no trouble making yardage out here. And let's see if the Trojans can get that defense toughened up now as they're down at the UD 15-yard line. 8 minutes, 23 seconds remaining here in the first half, and the clock continues to move on down now. It's an 8-0 ball game at this point. Straub handing it, no, keeping it. Straub down to the 10, Straub to the 5, and Straub goes in for a touchdown. 15-yard touchdown for Adam Straub as he used that fake handoff to Henninger up the middle. He kept it himself, goes around the right side and made it look pretty easy from here. It's now 14-0, and the Eagle extra point try coming up. Eagles will elect to go for 2. And this time it'll be Henninger. And did Henninger get in? Well, I don't know. They haven't given an indication yet. Did he get in? Nope, he did not. No good. So the Trojans stop the extra point try, and it remains a 14-0 score now, and the Trojans will get the ball back. And it's 6 seconds remaining in the first half of our ball game. The Eagles up 14-0. Belts has her teed up here for the Eagles now, and here comes his kick to either Minnick or Motter. And it's going to be taken by the short guy. This is Laudenschlager bringing it back for the Eagles. Chris Smith, was it? Yeah, I guess it was Chris. Yep. Chris Smith, one of the upbacks, grabbed a hold of that one, brought it out to the 31 or 33-yard line of UDA, where they'll put it in play 1st and 10. First and 10. UDA on their own 33. Up the middle with it goes Nick Huffman across the 35 to the 36-yard line for Nick. Gain of about 3 on that play, and be 2nd down and 7. on a second down now, and about 7 for UD from their own 37-yard line or 36-yard line. Up the middle again, Huffman. This time he's going to be grabbed immediately. Well, they never did bring him down, but certainly slowed down in there by an eagle or two. And so they blow it dead at the 36-yard line. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Okay, looks like a 3rd and 7 looking at UD. It's a short 7. More like 6 almost. Back to pass goes Faust. He's looking. Now he's going to tuck it away and run it. Brian running around the left side, and he'll slip down at the just about the 1st down. If it's not, I think it is. At the 44-yard line. So Brian running for his life there. Got himself a 1st down. Way to go, Brian. 1st and 10 UD. 6:24 left here in the 1st half. Trojans now have the ball on their own 44.
Their first down of the game.
Yep. I believe it is the first down, perhaps. Yep. Anyway, let's see if we can get a couple more here now. Kraus hands this one off. Nick is tackled almost immediately. A good low ankle tackle made out there by one of those Eagles. This time is at number 73, Jeremiah Hill, making the stop for the Eagles. A gain of 1, be 2nd and 9. 2nd down and 9 for the Trojans. Nick Huffman and Stephen Minnick in the backfield. Faust wants to throw. Fires one over the middle. It is incomplete, as it was intended for Bo Hassinger out there, but knocked down nicely by the Eagles' Matt Marquette. So Bo was there and just had that knocked out of there at the last second. Tough play for UD that time, but he was there. You're looking at a 3rd down coming up for UD. Back to pass goes Faust again. He's looking. He'll dump one over this way, intended for Shell. But Dave is not able to haul that one in. Mickey Sprinkle over there covering for the Eagles. And that'll bring up a 4th down, and UD will have to punt it away. And again, Henninger will be called upon to rip one out of here. He'll be walking or stepping up to about his own 35-yard line to get this one off. Eagles send Straub and Sprinkle back to receive this. They bounced this one, but okay, and now here comes Jason Henninger with it, and Jason will be tackled at the 44-yard line now as the snap was low and Jason unable to handle it. And he tried to run it out of there, got it back to the 44-yard line, or 45-yard line, I guess they're going to put it. And it'll be 1st and 10, Eagles right there. Well, 1st and 10 for the Eagles now as they get another excellent field position start here on this one. On UD's 45. Handoff is to that this is Sullivan, and Sullivan thrown out of bounds down here at around the 15-yard line somewhere. At the 13. So Sullivan with a tear off the right side that time for some good yardage, and it'll be 1st and 10 Eagles at the UD 13. Sullivan lines up as the single set in the backfield for the Eagles on this play. And let's see, quarterback's got it, and Joel Miller attacking him that time. Lost a couple. It'll be down to the 17-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and about 14 for the Eagles. Nice play that time by that Joel Miller. Again, here they come, and you got to tackle both of them, and they did, and the ball is loose in there, I think, but I think the Eagles have recovered. You got to, the way the backfield is run here, you got to tackle the quarterback and the running back both at the same time. They run together. They look like Siamese twins out there. And so we've got a third down and about 14. Okay. 3rd and 14. Straub wants to throw. Dumps one down the right side out of the reach of Sprinkle. There is a flag thrown down here. Marquette was the intended receiver, but there's a flag on this one. We'll see who this is against, as the referee is going to tell us here right now. I think it's against Line Mountain, or no, it's not. The Trojans are backing up, so it is against UD. Interference. Wow. Looked like the pass was uncatchable from here, folks. I don't know. He couldn't have got that if they wouldn't have knocked him down, I don't believe. So it goes against UD. Interference is the call. Takes the ball all the way down to the 8-yard line or 7-yard line, something like that. 1st and goal again for Line Mountain, this time from about the 7.5-yard line. Sullivan to single set again. 1st and goal from the 7. And Sullivan has it, and he's going to be tackled. That was at number 7, the quarterback. Straub hanging on to that one. And he is hit after a gain of a yard to the 6-yard line. He goes, so it'll be 2nd and goal from the 6. 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. Straub throwing. Fires one over this way. It's incomplete. Intended for Sprinkle. But thrown low by Straub, who was rushed pretty much that time. Tried to get a quick one off and just couldn't throw it with any kind of power behind it. And then it drops short of Sprinkle's feet. Goes as a 3rd down and goal from the 6. 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. Stay back a little bit, see what they do with this one. Straub will keep it. He's running around the side over here, trying to find some room to go in. He makes a good cut and goes in for 6. Yep, made a nice cut there. Some of the Trojans coming over in pursuit, but Straub able to make a cut around the left side and took it in for 6. So quarterback with that option, a heck of an option quarterback, always with the ability to run the ball or hand it off, and Straub made good on that one for 6 points from 6 yards out. So the extra point try coming up here now as the margin grows to 20-0. And they'll go for 2. Straub still wants to throw it. Looks into the end zone. It is complete in there to that number 22, who we don't have. But at any rate, it's 22-0 with the Line Mountain kickoff coming up. Lennox making the stop for the Eagles, or making the catch rather for the Eagles. It's 27 seconds remaining here in the first half. The Eagles have put on 22 unanswered points, and we'll be right back. Matt Smeltz has her teed up once again here for Line Mountain as they get ready to kick off to the Eagles. Smeltz's kicks haven't been too deep, and tonight, though, he gets a leg into this one over there for that Motter, Kevin Motter at the 15 and the 20, and now Kevin picking his way upfield, still on his feet, gets all the way out to about the 32-yard line or 31-yard line. Corey Wren making the stop out there for the Eagles, but the Trojans will put it in play now, 1st and 10 on their own 31. Trojans need a break here. See if we can catch a break this time and make some good yardage and get on the board before halftime. We've got 2 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in the first half. Faust drops back to throw one. Sets a screen up over here to Motter. Kevin's got it at the 35, or Nick Huffman rather. Nick Huffman make that. To the 35 he goes.
Tackled by number 73, Jeremiah Hill, after a gain of about 4.
Picked up 4 on the play. 2nd and 6. Second and 4 for UDA. Now the ball's on the Trojan 35-yard line. Up the middle with it goes Nick Huffman, and Nick out to the 40 or maybe 41. We'll see where they spot it. They spot it just outside the 40-yard line, so it'll be short of the first down by about a yard. It'll be 3rd and 1. Only 1:15 remaining now here in the first half as Kinch will check out of the ball game. 54 for UD. Aaron checking out of there. Jeff Noel, number 58, in the lineup for UD in that line, that Trojan offensive line. And we'll see what happens on this one. We need a yard for a first down. Nick Huffman's got it, and he does not have the first down. As the Trojans will turn it over on downs, he's going to be short. Eagles stacked it up real quickly. And that means the Trojans will be punting this one away, I think, as we call timeout. It will be, oh no, they're going to measure it. Well, from here it's at least a foot short. At least 1 foot shy we are. There they are. Well, it is short. So it'll bring up 4th down in about a foot and a half. 28 seconds, the clock moving down here now, remaining in the first half. Trojans perhaps with their last play of the first half, and it's going to be just snuck here for a first down. And there will be a first down. That will stop the clock with 20 seconds remaining while they reset the chains. Trojans do have 1 timeout remaining, and I think they're going to take it right now. They are. Trojans spend their last timeout here of the first half, and we'll be right back. They have 20 seconds to play and about 57 yards or 58 yards to go.
Reminder.
All right, here we go now on perhaps the last play of the first half. Back to pass goes Faust. He's looking downfield. He is going to be sacked here at the 42, and that'll do it as the clock will counter down now. We've got 7 seconds. The clock continues to move. And so at the end of the first half of our ball game, it is 22-0 Lyon Mountain. Back with the second half in just a moment.
First half, the score Lyon Mountain 22, Upper Dauphin nothing.
Well, the teams are back on the field now, getting ready for the second half of today's ball game, and the Trojans will receive the kickoff to begin the second half of play here tonight, as they will send Motter and Minnick back to receive the kick. They'll be back there deep. The up guys are Chris Smith here near us, and on the far side, number 24, Kenny the Bammer Bam Bam Bats. So we'll be ready to go here in just a moment now as the Eagles ready to break their huddle here to begin the second half of play. Teeing it up out there is that number 51, and that's that Matt Smeltz. He has her teed up on the right hash mark and will be set to go in a minute. Oh, here we go. Here's Matt's kick. It is a pretty nice kick. Going to bounce at the 15 and be picked up there by Kevin Motter at the 7. To the 10, to the 15, up to the 20, and man, he is nailed at about the 18-yard line. There's a flag on the play. Flag on the play, and they're going to talk to the Eagles. Clipping called on the kickoff, and that'll march them back a little bit. Now they're only on the 18-yard line, so if it's a half the distance or whatever, let's see, take them back around the 10 to the 9. All right, half the distance takes them back to the 9-yard line, and it'll be set in play there now. 1st and 10 for UDA on their own 9-yard line. Brian Faust joins the club out there as the quarterback. 68 in there is that Justin Challenger, 68. And here we go on our first play of the second half. Fumble and covered by Faust, however. Brian trying to make the pitch back over to one of his left halfbacks, it seemed, or whatever. Lost the handle on it. It'll be a 2nd down and 12. Loss of 2 on that play as Laudenschlager joins the ball team out there. 2nd and 2, or 2nd and 12. Trojans trailing 22-0, but the defense has played one heck of a game against these Line Mountain Eagles at times. Really played their hearts out in the first half here, and here comes Minnick following some blocking, and he gets out to the maybe 7-yard line, somewhere around there. It'll be a gain of about a yard or so, and it'll be 3rd down and 12 for UD. Okay, UD now looking at a 3rd and 12 from their own 7-yard line. Matter of fact, Stephen Minnick standing with his feet right on the goal line. Back to pass goes Faust. He's going to get sacked in the end zone for a safety. That's about 2 weeks in a row now that the quarterback has been forced to give up a safety in the end zone. Not Brian's fault. I mean, he's just not getting any line blocking out there to speak of, and these guys are rushing in on him so quickly he can't even get a chance to really get set up. So that'll give the Eagles defense 2 points and makes it a 24-0 ball game. And it'll be punted or free kicked, whatever, teed up in this case, from the 20-yard line of Upper Dauphin as Henninger gets ready to punt this ball away, or kick this ball away. So Henninger has it now, and he'll kick it off to Straub or Sprinkle for the Eagles. Here's the kick. It's going to be flopped out of bounds at the 49-yard line. A flag is thrown because of the kickoff being kicked out of bounds. Now, I'm not sure if that applies on a free kick or not. We'll see. And it's at the 49. So we'll see what they do with it here in just a moment. I guess they're going to, well, not sure exactly. We'll see. Official will not make a call. Well, it was just the flag thrown because we're not out of bounds, I guess. Line Mountain takes over at the 45-yard line of Upper Dauphin. So Straub will go to work for the Eagles, leading now 24-0. And he wants to throw. Looking, rolling right. Fires one down the sideline. It is complete or incomplete? Incomplete. Caught over there out of bounds by Jared Harold. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Didn't catch the score before, so we'll catch it now. It is 24-0 with 10:17 remaining here in the 3rd period. And Eagles looking at a 2nd and 10. Again, he looks like he wants to throw. He has it. He gets good protection. Fires one down here. It is complete or incomplete? Wow. Tough call. But he says he caught it down at the 23-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles on the Trojan 23. Henninger in the ball game now. He'll set up as the running back behind Straub. Straub back to throw again. Looking, firing over the middle down to the 10-yard line where Bam Bam Bats trips him up down there. The Bammer with a good tackle, and there's a penalty, however, on this play. The penalty is going to go against the Eagles, it would seem, because the Eagles are backing up. Holding is the call against Line Mountain. So that'll move them back. Instead of the good gain on the play, it'll take them back to the around the 35-yard line. Call that the 34-yard line. Holding against the Eagles. But it makes it a 1st and about 21.
Ball brought back to the Trojans' 35-yard line.
Straub dropping back. Firing one down the right side. Man is out here. It is incomplete as out of bounds goes Marquette with it. But Matt Marquette was out there, but Straub couldn't get it to him. And so it'll be second down and about 21. Or second down and 20, actually. Okay, second and 20. Second and 20 now as the Eagles try their wings here. Going to the air. They'll now go from a shotgun formation this time. Whoa! The shotgun misfired that time, but let's see how this makes out. Fires one down the side. It is complete to Marquette, and Nick Huffman takes him, or no, it wasn't Marquette. Check that. Number 9, I think it was. At any rate, a couple of yards to the 40-yard line of UD. Oh boy, that shotgun there was some blast, huh? It's probably what Adam Straub thinks. Okay, at any rate, bring up a third down now, and 20 plus 23 or something like that, I guess. This time the pass is better. Up the middle with it goes Straub. Straub down the middle, got some running room and gets all the way still on his feet down inside the 15. So the Eagles, or the Trojans, just letting him go for big yardage that time, and it's a first down. So that was about a third down and 22 or 3 or something like that, and Straub able to run it right up the middle and just had the Trojans caught off balance that time and took it all the way down to the 12-yard line. First and 10 Eagles. Okay, again, the Trojans now have to dig in as the Eagles looking to put their 30th points on the board here if they can. Straub with a pass over there for Marquette, and Marquette will take it down to about the 4. Somewhere in that area, around the 4-yard line. Matt Marquette caught that pass from Adam Straub. And so it'll bring up a second down and 3. Ball slightly inside the 5 at the 4 on a second down and 3 or a second down and 4 for a touchdown. Straub wants to throw it. Fires one over this way. It is complete. And then they're going to have the football come loose, but they're going to say it was okay. Mickey Sprinkle caught the ball for the Eagles. A bunch of Trojans over there to make the stop that time. Third down and a yard for a first down, 3 yards for a touchdown. Wow.
Same place.
So they put Henninger as the fullback back there, running back, whatever, on this third down and 1. Straub has it. He wants to throw, but he is going to get smothered under now as there's a whole bunch of black jerseys all over him that time. And let's see. The Bammer Bats and Robbie Buehler on that hit that time, among others. But I think, well, Ken was in there first. And it'll be a loss of about a yard or 2 on the play. It'll be 4th down and 3 or 4th down and 5, depending on how you care to look at it. Again, Henninger, a single set in the backfield for the Eagles. He gets the call and he gets 6. Diving in from 5 yards out, just puts that head down real low and slither right by everybody and into the end zone for 6. It's now 30-0, and the extra point try will be coming up. Extra point try coming up here now. So they put all their backs in the backfield this time. And let's see, it'll be number 56 going in for the touchdown, and that's Kirby Snyder, I think. Yeah, Kirby Snyder going in, playing in a fullback with a number 56. But anyway, he took it in for the extra point, and that makes it a 32-0 score, and the Eagles will get ready to kick off again to UDA here in just a moment. 58 out there is that Jeff Knoll. 74, I believe, is Chubb. 57, Joel Miller. And as we read across there, Ethan Waters, number 64, way on the far side. And the other young fellow in there, I think, is that Joel Miller. But then got another guy out there that I can't really see very well from here. But, oh, that's Henninger, I guess. Anyway, here comes the kick. And this one is punched pretty well back here to the, well, let's see. At the 1 yard line, Motter will pick it up. He'll try to run it over this way and to be tackled at the 7. Coming up there, make the stop, number 5 on him. So the Trojans in terrible field position now as they try this series, starting out at their own 7 yard line. So the Eagles really have a long row to hoe here now, starting on their own 7. 1st and 10. Faust hands this one off, and in another safety, I think. Or are they going to rule it he was in? No, I guess they say that they made it out to the 1. That was might have been a gift call there by the officials that time, because for all intents and purposes, Stephen looked like he was about a yard or so deep. But thank goodness they left him bring it out to the 1 yard or 1 foot line or something like that. So they'll get another whack at it. The Trojans have already, of course, seen a safety. They had a safety on them, so we'll see what happens here now as the Trojans look at a 2nd down and about 17 from the 1 yard line. Faust hands off to Nick Huffman. Nick will drive it out for a couple of yards. Out to maybe the 3 or 4. Looks like at about the 3 yard line or 4 yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 13. On a 3rd and 13, let's see what the Trojans have come up with here. They're playing on their own 4 yard line. Looks like the Eagles might be coming, and they're going to try it. And Nick Huffman gets about to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. It'll be 4th down now, and Jason Henninger will be asked to punt from the shadow of his own goal post. We'll have to get a good one off here now. He is standing about as deep as you can and still be in the ballpark. Snap is high, but the punt comes out. It's a high but not very deep punt. Kind of shanked it off to the side here, and it'll go out of bounds. Let's see, at about the 29 yard line. Looks like they're going to spot it. So it'll be 1st and 10 Eagles on the Trojan 29. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 Eagles. Ball's on the UDA 29. Pitches over there for that number 5 guy. He races around the right side, cuts it upfield, and still on his feet, still going down to the 5 or 6 yard line. Hit in there by, let's see who's getting off that pile last down there. It looks like it's number 8, Kevin Motter, probably making the stop out there for UD. But it's 1st and goal for the Eagles. The big ball will be laid on the 6 yard line of Upper Dauphin now. So the Trojan woes continue here now as the defense just unable to handle this Eagle offense tonight. Ironically, at times tonight, the Eagle defense has played pretty well. Now timeout being called by the officials for some reason. I'm not sure what. And now we're set to go. Now we had too many men on the field, maybe, because Lucas is coming off now. So now it's, well, now we got players coming in and out for both squads. Now quarterback Straub makes it back to the lineup, and here we go. Pitches back over there for that Henninger, and Henninger around the right, or rather Sullivan for 6 from about 5 yards out, something like that. That is Sullivan going in for 6, and extra point try coming up. Eagles are going to go for it this time. They're going to try to kick it. It looks like the kicker out there is that number 51, Smeltz. So Matt Smeltz out of the hold of number 11. Here's the kick. It is good. So Matt Smeltz gets an extra point in on the touchdown. So it is now 39-0 Eagles, and we're still in the third period. It's 23 seconds remaining here in the third. It's 39-zip. Line Mountain. Okay, so Line Mountain has her teed up again here now as the Trojans will try to solve this Line Mountain defense. And Smeltz kicks it down here to the 10, 15, 20. Kevin on his feet yet at the 25 and dragged down from behind basically that time by that number 22 out there. And the Eagles will take over now on their own 22-yard line. All right, 1st and 10 for UDA on the Trojan 26 or 7. This is Minnick trying to figure out how to get over the left side there, and Stephen has maybe a yard out of that effort. About one. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Second and 9 for the Trojans. Brian Faust looking him over. See what we can do with this on a 2nd and 9. Pass. Incomplete. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Intended for Bo Hassinger. But it goes as an incompletion. We'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. Yeah. Okay. 3rd down and 9. We'll stay back here this time. Faust looking to throw. Wants to throw a screen over this way, but he threw it too far. It was intended for Stephen Minnick, but out of bounds it goes. 54 Aaron Kinch over there to block for Stephen. Had the pass been completed, but no luck. And so it's 4th down coming up here now. And again, Henninger, whose leg must be getting tired, is ready to punt for UD. See if Jason can get a good one off this time. His last one was high, but not very deep. Pretty good snap. And this one, again, is high, but not too deep. Going to hit around the 50-yard line. Takes a Line Mountain roll and is going to be downed by Kenny the Bam Bam Bats. Way to go, Ken. He downed it down here at the 44-yard line of Upper Dauphin. So the Eagles will put it in play there. They will have 25 seconds left here in the third quarter. Time for maybe one play. As a matter of fact, the Eagles took a lot of time in the huddle and decided against even running a play, which was very nice of them here as the quarter came to an end. So at the end of 3/4 of our ball game here, it is 39-0 Line Mountain. All right, here we go with the 4th period now as the Eagles head south here at the ballpark. They hand this, no, the quarterback I think still has it, and he gathered a crowd out there, including Bats and Bueller. 32 out there for UDA is that Kyle Barter. Good effort that time. 2nd down and 11 now as the Eagles lose one. Back to the 46-yard line of Upper Dauphin. Straub remains in at quarterback, as does Henninger, number 28. And they go to the I formation in the backfield again. Henninger has it. Henninger down to the 35, down to the 30, or rather the 40, and then down to the 35-yard line. Stopped in there by Lucas, I think, along with Barter. Here comes that Lucas and Bobby Keeney, 28, coming off the field for UDA. Short by a yard. He picked up 10 but needed 11, and it's 3rd down and 1. Both Sullivan and Henninger in the backfield for the Eagles. Quarterback wants to keep it, and he's got a couple of yards over the middle, and there's going to be gang tackle out there finally as the Trojans make a stop on him. Chris Smith, Kenny Batts, Drew Hunter, among others, in on that tackle that time. Joel Miller also in on the stop for UD. First and 10 for the Eagles are on the Trojan 27. They remain in the I formation in the backfield now do the Eagles. Handoff is to Henninger, and Henninger bangs down inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. Maybe the 17. We'll have to see where they spot it. Stopped in there by a couple of Trojans that time. Batts and Barter coming out of the ball game for UDA. In there, number 68 for the Trojans is that Justin Challenger just galloping on the field. Second down and a long yard for a first down. Pitches back over this way for that number 5, and he will be ridden out of bounds here by several Trojans, including Trojan number 1 out there, Wade Whitmer, coming up to make the stop that time, along with a couple of other Trojans. Drew Hunter, Motter, and Huffman also in on that stop, but Wade Whitmer, number 1. Out there getting some playing time here now. We got 8 minutes, 50 seconds left here in the ball game. Third down about a foot or so. Quarterback keeps it and drives it down to the 10-yard line. Stopped in there. I think he might have been tripped up by Chris Smith and Nick Huffman. Making the stop for UD. Ball's at the 9. It'll be first and goal for the Line Mountain Eagles. First and goal for the Line Mountain Eagles. Got a new quarterback in there now. It's Sprinkle at quarterback. Sprinkle pitches it back over this way to that number 5 guy, and he'll cut it right off the left side and in for 6. Dragged down in the end zone, but number 5 puts the 45th point on the board tonight, and they all belong to the Line Mountain Eagles at this point. It is 45-0, 7:49 remaining in the ball game. And an extra point try coming up. Sprinkle number 11, who just scored, will be the, will be the holder, I mean. He didn't just score. 5 scored. And here's the placement. The kick is up. The kick is good. So Matt Smeltz gets his second extra point in as many tries tonight. And the Eagles make it a 46-0 ball game, and they'll be back here with their kickoff here in just a moment. Eagles a bit, the Trojans a bit dejected looking, as you might expect here now, as they're getting skunked by those Line Mountain Eagles. But the tides turn, and surely eventually we'll get to repay these Eagles for this blitzing that they're putting on us. And for tonight, however, we've got to survive the next 7 minutes, 49 seconds, and then we'll put this one in the book. Forget about it. For the Eagles, number 5, Brent Kemmer, or Grant Kemmer. He's a sophomore, and he took that last touchdown in for Line Mountain. Here's a ball bouncing around, taken up here by number 18, Bo Hassinger, and Bo will drive it ahead to the 40, where he'll be stopped out there. Trojans will put it in play right there, first and 10. Clock continues to move on down now as we've got 7:36. Well, now it's stopped. Now they're going to wind it up again. It'll start. So about 7.5 minutes remaining in this one. Sure, the boys expected better than 45 or 46-0 blitzing here, but the Eagles have a pretty darn good ball club, and the Trojans, young Trojans here, have struggled pretty much so far in this season. So here's a ball kind of dropped at the snap as Brian Faust will drive ahead here then for maybe a yard or so as he picked up his own fumble. Ball at the 40-yard line, no gain on the last play. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Faust will hand this one off to Laudenschlager, and Sean gets maybe a yard or two, no more, as they figured that play out pretty quickly, did those Eagles. And he picked up 2, gain of a couple out to the 44-yard line of Upper Dauphin. It'll be 3rd down and a long 7. Nick Huffman, Stephen Minnick remain in that Trojan backfield behind Brian Faust. In motion comes Laudenschlager over our way. Pitches here for Minnick. Minnick to the 45-yard line. Stephen's still on his feet, and he's got bumped out at about the 48-yard line, somewhere in there. I think they'll say he went out. About the 49. It'll be 4th down and 2. All right, the Trojans will go for it here on a 4th and 2. Laudenschlager go in motion over on the right side this time. Pitches there to Stephen Minnick. Stephen Minnick, let's see, did he make it? No, he did not. Stephen is stopped short at about the 49. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, so the Eagles will take over now as the ball turns over on downs, and the Eagles have it. And they've got 4 minutes, 41 seconds remaining here in the ball game. The Eagles will put the ball in play on the Trojan 49-yard line. Hey, right out in front of us now is the Line Mountain Eagles, 3rd-string quarterback in there now for Line Mountain. He'll pitch it back over here for that number 5 Kemmerer. And Kemmerer around the right side with a burst of speed, and he is finally tackled down here as number 4 Wiest comes up and makes the stop for the UDA Trojans. But the ball down to the 31-yard line of Upper Dauphin. And it'll be enough for the 1st down, of course, and that'll bring up a 1st and 10 from the UD 31. 3.5 minutes remaining in the ball game.
He's wherever he wants to be.
QB will hand this one off to Kemmerer again, and he bounces off a couple of tackles and still driving down to the 26-yard line, something like that. We'll see where they line him up. Stop would have been there. 64 might have been that Ethan Waters making the stop for UD. 74 Chubb is in there now on the defensive line. Second and 5. 19 with it. Down the middle he goes, and he's going to drive for a 1st down to about the 17-yard line, or maybe 16, something like that. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles. 2 minutes, 35 seconds remaining here in the ball game. Clock down to 2:20. Pitches back over here for that Kemmerer. And Kemmerer around the right side now down to the 6. Or I beg your pardon, down to the 10. Make that down to the 10-yard line. Be a gain of 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Under 2 minutes to play now, just under 2 minutes. Minute and 56 and 55 and 54, so forth. So the Eagles with a chance to run a couple more plays. Kenny the Bammer Bats in there calling these defensive plays. 78 in there is that Reed, James Reed for UD now on a defensive line for Upper Dauphin. Quarterback still has it. And he is going to get hit back here, but there's a flag on the play. There's a touchdown, but there is a flag on the play. Boy, I'll tell you, it was Kyle Grafe in hot pursuit or what that time. He was really roaring at the quarterback. I kind of kept my eye on those two guys, but they have an illegal receiver, I think it is, downfield.
Against the Eagles, an eligible man downfield.
An eligible man downfield. So it'll cost them 5 yards and bring up a fourth down, or rather second down.
Second down for the Eagles.
And
Trojans 15-yard
9 from the 15. Second and 9 from the 15. Matt Cummins, 67 in there for Upper Dauphin. 19 up the middle with it. And he's going to drive it down to the 11.
And we stopped at the 10-yard line to bring up third down for Line Mountain.
He might have run into Cummins that time. A couple of other Trojans in that lineup. So got 50 seconds remaining now, as it'll bring up a third down and about 4 for the Eagles. Down to 40 seconds left here in the ball game. Trojans want to keep these guys off the board. This is practically the junior varsity, the squad out there for the Eagles, I would think. That game will be coming up on Monday. Here's 5 to Kemmer around the left side, and he's going to be dragged down as again Grafe coming up there to make the stop on him. So Grafe still playing hard out there, and he makes the sack back to the 15-yard line, and that did it, as there's got 12 seconds left, 10, and so forth. So the Eagles are going to win a big one here tonight against Upper Dauphin by a final score of 46-0. So the Trojans, who have felt a miserable defeats in the past, now find themselves really getting blistered here by Line Mountain. But the fellows will come out there and congratulate each other. We congratulate the coaching staff from Line Mountain on a very good ball game. They took charge early and simply never looked back, as the Trojans were unable to get any offense generated tonight against these Eagles. And the Eagles, in the meantime, were able to get big gains when they needed against the Trojans. But in defense of UD, we did play some pretty tough defense at times on a couple of first half goal line stands when they had a first and goal situations. A couple of times Eagles were unable to score. So that bolstered the team for a while, but after a while, I guess you just get worn down out there playing all that defense, and with the number of turnovers and our inability to move the football, it seemed like the Eagles had the ball for 3/4 of the ball game. So pulls you down, takes the air out of your sails, I guess, and so the Trojans will have to regroup now, as next week we'll be heading up to Juniata to play those Juniata Indians, who incidentally are getting blitzed tonight by Halifax. They had a 39-0 score in that ball game at one point. I don't know what the final was, but at any rate, we'll look forward to our next ball game. We travel over the river and through the woods to Juniata, and we'll see you then. Final score here tonight is not memorable for the UDA fan. Well, there you go. It's nothing. Anyhow, 46-0 was the final score here tonight. So we'll see you again next week, guys. Just pick up the chins and go at it again. Good night from UDA.